We got a brother that came in with some high frequency, and if he got any questions, I'm gonna be answering it. But yeah, so you know, if you got any questions pertaining to religion, metaphysics, health, law, universal law.
Well, you know, I know about I try to follow that as possible, as close as possible. My thing is, apply. How do you apply this?
Well, the thing is this here. You say you know about Maya, so you know about the underworld, gods and goddesses and things of that nature. Well, Osiris, Isis, Ra, Rahu, all of these deities are mythological figures. They never existed either. So you have to look at that in a metaphysical way. And Ra, we know, is the third eye, which is the pineal gland, which produces the crystals, which is the Christ. You know, that's your higher self. And then you have the 12 systems in the brain, which is represented in the Bible with the 12 disciples. You understand what I'm saying? And within the melanin, you have 6 electrons, 6 protons, and 6 neutrons. And this is in the Bible where they say that, you know, this is the mark of the beast and things of that nature. So what they did was they understood the spiritual way of communicating, but we never understood it. They took our books. So now that the universe is coming back, the constellations are coming back on a spiritual message. If we quiet, like you got sounds around you right now that you can't hear. They're either low or high. You can't hear it though, and that affects us. And it's trying to talk to us. When you quiet your mind, what you're really saying is, you know, you got my attention to the universe. You understand what I'm saying? Because what's outside of you is inside. And I know you heard the saying, as above, so below. So, you know, you have different systems, and we come from the constellations. You know, before we come into this physical body, this flesh, we are a spiritual people who've been around for billions of years. You know, and when you look at the aspect of Adam and Eve, and we're gonna look at it in the Christian way. If we look at Adam and Eve, it said that they're a little over 60,000 years old. But when you look at it, you know, you got anthropologists, for an example, Professor Leakey going into Ethiopia finding bones of, you know, who they call Lucy. That's their own name. You know, that's European. But they don't know shit because, you know, they've been taking things since the beginning. They don't have no history. So therefore they have to plagiarize and feed off other people's history. These are vampires, you know, so things of that nature. You know, the thing that got us spiritually, it's not a thing now about a mental enslavement. It's a spiritual enslavement, because a mental and spiritual is two different things. Because everything you look at is an illusion. We're in the matrix. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, but the melanin that we have is the significant key that's going to get us out of what we need to get to. It's going to get us to our true destiny, our destination, which is back to the constellations. We're going to go back to the sun. Because like I said earlier, I was doing an interview, we are fragments of the sun. You know, and the sun is the mother of stars. And we are those stars that's waiting in, like, sort of like holding cells or waiting cells to come down into this physical body. We make contracts. So yeah. But if you have any questions, you know, just shoot off. You know, if you want to freestyle a question, just ask me. Like I said, health, law, whatever. We got the deities here today, you know. So yeah. Yeah, but you said you know you just got into the Egyptology. That's more so into the Egyptology type of stuff.
I mean, the more I've learned, it's all one though.
Right, it's all one.
Taoism,
that's right.
Everything. It's like it's no.
Right.
It's all one circle.
Right, is it? That's right.
All this seems to be different meanings, different ways, different stories told by different people.
That's right.
So it's all go back to the same thing.
That's right.
The precedent is how you treat people. It seems to be that way. I don't.
Right.
I'm just learning myself. Everything seems to be. Everything is connected.
Everything is connected. It's just like the senses. There's no such thing as these Europeans teach you that, you know, you get 5 senses, some say 7 senses, but we only have 1 sense. You understand what I'm saying? And that 1 sense, through your tasting, you can hear. And through food, frequencies are sent through your food. You understand what I'm saying? So if you got food that's operating on low frequency, what it does is it sends signals to different organs in your body, such as the pancreas, for an example. When you eat a lot of GMO, what it damages the pancreas. This is where your natural insulin is produced. When it goes to the bloodstream, the blood is a spirit which connects you to the soul. So if that's damaged right there, then guess what? You're part of the illusion.
Let me ask you a question. All right? So I have 2 jobs. My first job, I'm a pharmacy technician. Working in pharmacy.
Say pharmacy?
Pharmacy technician. And I see all kind of drugs. All kind of drugs. I'm talking about, we have drugs for blood pressure, for blood, just all this stuff. And I know for a fact this stuff is not good for us. So what's your feelings on that? Like, what's your feelings on prescriptions?
Well,
Medications or
Right.
stuff like that. Man-made stuff, I would say.
right. Well, you got to look at it like this. In drugs, it's an alkaloid. And melanin is an alkaloid. So the thing is, when they started to create crack cocaine and these drugs, what they did was they studied our DNA and said, okay, we can study this melanin, and they saw a determined element in there, which was the alkaloid. So crack cocaine and alkaloid. And when you take a physical, material substance and you blend it in with a spiritual substance, you can hook that spiritual substance, which is you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why we more so addicted to crack cocaine than white people. They smoke it too, but you gotta understand they have melanin, and this is a common melanin. They have melanin, but this only gives them the electricity to be able to have emotions. This is why they appear to be like us. They are not like us at all. They are heterotrophic beings. As I was saying earlier, they're heterotrophic being. A heterotrophic being is one who's more healthier in a wet, damp area. They like mushrooms. They don't have a root. They don't have a history. And this is why nature disrespects them. They have to put on sunblock to block themselves from the sun. You understand what I'm saying? Whereas us, we are phototrophic beings. We convert sunlight to energy. You understand what I'm saying? Just like plants, they have they utilize photosynthesis, but they don't have melanin. They have chlorophyll. You can take rock and roll, which is under 432 hertz, and you can set it in front of a plant and give it all the water and light you want, but it's still gonna die. Why? Because that plant is it has a soul too also. So it deals with frequency and energy. So it kills the it puts that frequency on low energy, megahertz. You know, just like we watch television, different channels operate on different megahertz. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, this is how they hooked us to crack cocaine. They studied our DNA, and they know the alkaloid and the melanin connects us to the alkaloid inside of the crack cocaine, which is synonymous to the element that we have in us, which is the melatonin. And nowadays they are taking, I don't know if you heard about the story about these boys being missing in Atlanta, the Atlanta child murders some years back, yeah. But come to it, they were taking the organs, they all didn't have more, they had organs missing out of them. And what they do is they take the pineal glands, they crush them up, and they make melatonin pills. You understand? And the melatonin pills help you to sleep. We don't need it. The Europeans need it, they can't sleep. But they have cases now where they're not gonna come out and outright say it because that'll place them in an inferior position when it comes to DNA. But they are having these visions where they're being attacked by these unseen spirits or whatever they call them. So, you know, if you look at the movie Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, you got these white crackers going to sleep and they're not waking up. Same thing happening to them today. When they play these movies, we got to take heed to them. They're not entertainment.